Hey everybody, Clay here, Cardboard Empires. Today we're going to talk about something pretty serious, and we're going to get into it. I've never asked the watchers of my video to do this before, but I'm going to probably never will again. But I'm going to ask today if you watch this video and the idea in this video, the message kind of resonates with you. Do what you can to share the video with somebody else who you think might be impacted by this as well. I'm not talking necessarily about going on Facebook and sharing this video with your grandma, although you can do that if you want. Other collectors, other people who you think that this actually impacts. We're going to talk about grading card companies today and the serious implications of their turnaround times and their ability to switch it however they want to. And what that might mean for us. We're going to go into what you and I might actually be able to do about that. So let's talk about. Let me lay out the groundwork. What am I talking about? Okay, so we have grading card companies. You send your Pokemon cards into grading card companies, and they grade them and they entomb them in these slabs. As collectors, you know this. If you're not a collector, now you know. And you pay pretty good money for them to do this. And what this does is it increases the value of that card on the secondary market. It allows dealers and collectors to charge a premium for that card because now that card has been validated and graded by a third party, a person in a company. When we as collectors send that card into a grading card company, they give us a turnaround time and they say, okay, thank you for sending me your card. We will have this back to you in 30, 40, 50, 60 working days, business days. And we as dealers and collectors expect our cards to be back in 30, 40, 50, 60 working days. Now, what has happened in the last 6 months is there has been an influx in people grading their cards. So that turnaround time slowly started to creep up. And until altogether, I think most, if not all, grading card companies have stopped accepting submissions at all. The problem is that turnaround time started creeping up after we sent our cards. Most of us, it happened after we sent our cards. You and I sent our cards in with the expected turnaround time of 30 working days. 6 months later, our cards are still there. And now they're telling us the turnaround time is going to be something akin to a year, 6 months to a year, in addition to the time that those cards have already been there. So what does that mean? That means that we entered into a voluntary arrangement with a company and they're not upholding their end of the bargain. We're still here awaiting our cards, offering to pay them money, and they're increasing the turnaround times. Not only that, but if you ask for your cards back, they will not give them back to you. They will hold on to those cards until they are graded. So what does that mean for the average collector? Not a whole lot. In terms of pricing, it means that maybe the market goes up a substantial amount in the meantime, and a card that was worth $10 that you sent in December gets graded in November, and it's now worth $1,000. So now you have to pay a ton of money to get that card back in your collection. That's what it means for you. But what does it mean for a dealer? It means that as a dealer, you sent those cards in expecting them to be back in your inventory and ready to sell in 30 business days. Instead, what you got is we're sorry, we're going to give you your cards back whenever we flip and feel like it, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, is there nothing we can do about it? I'm not necessarily sure that's the case. Grading card companies have been sued many times before, not for this specific reason, but they've been sued. There have been a host of problems with grading card companies, and I think that this might be one of those times where a grading card company might be open to potential litigation. What we have here is, as a dealer, is a big issue, is a big problem. As a dealer, I'm expected to have an inventory to sell. And if I don't have an inventory to sell, I don't have a business to keep running. I don't have cards to keep selling. Because the important thing to remember with a potential lawsuit is that you can't just sue somebody because you're angry at them. There has to be damages. The person or entity that you're suing has to have caused you a problem, like a monetary problem that you can prove. And I'm not a lawyer, for the love of God, please. I'm not a lawyer. But as far as I understand it, and my understanding could be way off, there has to be a breach of contract and monetary damages. Now, if there's a lawyer that watches this video, feel free to correct me. Please, feel free to correct me. But as far as I'm aware, breach of contract and monetary damages. The contract would be, I'll send you my cards with the understanding that I'm going to get them back in 30 business days. You are going to encase these cards in a slab. You're going to grade them. You're going to charge me money, and you're going to send them back in 30 business days. That's our contract that we entered into. That was the agreement. The agreement wasn't, I'll send you my card, you encase them whenever the flip you feel like it, and send them back whenever you want. That wasn't the contract. That was never agreed to. So I could see somebody making the case that the grading card companies are potentially in breach of contract. So what's the monetary damages part? Well, there are some issues with this because you have to be able to prove monetary damages. It's not just that they caused you a variable or random amount of monetary damages. There has to be a number. You have to prove monetary damages. And I think, there are hurdles there, but I think that is definitely possible. If you look at the way the Pokemon market is going right now, it's been trending down overall. So as a dealer, if I sent a card in that was going to be returned within 30, 60 business days and expected to be valued at $100 upon arrival, 6 months later, that card is still out. And now when it's returned, the expected value is like $50. That's monetary damages. That's the grading card company's fault. That is them inflicting monetary damages on me. I don't know if that wording is entirely correct, but that's what that is. And us as customers, as consumers, as people who use that service, we don't have to take it. That's the thing that I want people to understand. That's why I asked you to share this video. If you know somebody who this might affect, we don't have to take it. This could potentially be a legal situation. There could be a way to recuperate the monetary damages caused by that company. When we send a card in with an expected turnaround time of 60 days, we as experienced dealers know, relatively, we have an educated guess as to what the card market could possibly do on the time horizon of 60 days. We didn't anticipate having to guess or keep track of a market for 6, 8, 12 months. Nobody could. I mean, how could anybody possibly, let's put it this way. Let's make it real simple. If they would have told you when you were sending those cards in, this is going to take you 12 months to get back, would you have done it? Would I have done it? Would anybody have sent those cards in if they said, okay, this will take 12 months to get back to your door? No, I don't believe. I mean, collectors probably still would. They don't care. But dealers, I don't believe they would. I think dealers probably would have just kept the cards and sold them raw. Because there's absolutely no way to predict what the price movement's going to do 12 months out. That's not a gamble. Most dealers, dealers are usually high volume, low margin, fast turnaround. That's what being a retailer, being a store, being a dealer is. Fast inventory movement, high volume, low margin. It's not buy a card as a 12-month investment and speculate on what the card market's going to be 12 months from now. That's usually not what most of us are doing. And when I say dealers, I include flippers, scalpers, whatever you want to call yourself. If you have a business model that includes high turnover rates, you're included in this conversation. I'll invite you to the table. I believe that there might be potential recourse available to people who are affected by this stuff. And I want to know what you guys have to say about it. I want to read the comments on this video. I want to read the comments section on this video. This is a video that I'm going to scrutinize the comments section about, because I want to know what you guys have to say, even if you're just a collector. If you hear my words right now and you're connecting with the message, I want to know what you have to say in the comment section down below. Would you potentially be interested in some sort of class action? Would you sign on board with a group of people that said, collectively said, hey, I want to hold these grading card companies responsible. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't ask for my card to be held for 12 months. I didn't know that once that card hit the warehouse, they would refuse to send it back. I didn't sign up for this. I'm not, I don't want to go into talking about specifics. So let me know. Let me know if this sounds interesting to you. If you feel the kind of emotion that I feel when I think about this stuff, because I really, to be honest with you, I'm okay with most of my cards sitting at PSA for 12 months, but I know a lot of people aren't. I know that there are a lot of people who are struggling badly right now. I can think of a few YouTube personalities whose entire business model revolved around grading cards and the graded card market, who haven't been making a lot of videos lately. I don't know if you guys keep track of this stuff, but those guys don't make a lot of videos lately. And do you ask yourself why that is? Why would these guys, these YouTubers who are known for dealing mostly in graded cards, like that's their entire business model, where have they been? Why have they been so quiet lately? Do you think it's because that they are hurting badly? They are in trouble? I want to know. I want to know what you guys think. These grading card companies, they're worth a lot of money. They have a lot of responsibility, and I don't envy them for that responsibility, but they signed up for that responsibility. They accepted it. They offered to provide a service that they aren't providing. And at some point, somebody needs to be held responsible, accountable. Somebody needs to answer. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I'm going to say it for the third time. After this video, after this third time, you're never going to hear me say these words again. I promise you, they don't feel right coming out of my mouth. They're ugly words. I don't like self-promotion. I don't like clout chasing. If you know somebody who you think would be interested in this video, don't even direct them to my video. Summarize the points that I've made in this video and tell it to that person. Listen to what they say and then leave it in the comment section down below. You don't even have to promote my video. Just promote the message. Tell people about this. Find out what they have to say about it. We need to come together, because this is something that really only works if all of us get together and are on the same page. That's what a class action lawsuit is. And I'm not in the process of preparing anything. I'm just, kind of trying to get a feel for who's thinking what. And so that's what I want to know. Let me know. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all the subscribers, likes, comments on the videos. And as always, I'll catch you later.